Hello. Thank you for coming today. I'm happy to be here to talk with you today. Today I want to talk about HIV. Now, what this is something that affects our immune system. If HIV enters your body, you will see effects. Now, you have white cells. Well, there's T cells, there's T4 cells, there's white cells, but really they're all the same. So, for the sake of this argument, we're going to call them white cells. Now, white cells have a specific job, and their job is to kill germs. And if something that is foreign enters your body, your white cells will identify that and kill it. So, for example, when you have a cold and you're feeling awful, you're coughing, your white cells, it's their job to identify that sickness and act as an antibiotic to really stop the infection that's happening and kill all those germs. That way you can be healthy again, feel better. So how is that connected to HIV, you might be asking? Well, white blood cells, when they notice a foreign object or foreign substance enter, um, they can identify it. But HIV is a very clever disease. They cannot identify HIV. So what it does is it takes over the cells of the body, including the white cells. So the white cells then become infected because of the HIV. The saying for this is that it kind of makes its home inside of the white cells until it expands and becomes more and more infected, and it's just ruined. It bursts. And then it goes on looking for more white cells. It's very interesting how it works. Now, you may know the strand of DNA. Well, HIV looks the same as a strand of DNA. It can disguise itself as part of you. So when your white blood cells identify it, they really just think that it's another part of you. It's your DNA. So it doesn't think that it needs to attack it and the virus spreads. So you might be wondering, once I get HIV, how long can I live? Or if it turns into AIDS? Well, I want to talk to you in terms of a metaphor. I want you to think about a window. So just kind of picture in your head, a real window that can open and close. And let's pretend it has blinds on it. So when it's closed, you can't see anything, but when it's opened, you can see through it. So think about that when we talk about your body and HIV. So let's say yesterday you had sex with someone, and they might have not mentioned any virus that they had, but they really did have it, and so it enters your body. Maybe you forgot to wear a condom, so you try and figure out what to do next. So most people would go to the HIV clinic and get a blood test done. So 2 weeks later, you get your results, and it's negative. So maybe you feel like big weights lifted off your shoulders, but that's not a true reading. It takes at least 3 months for a test to recognize HIV in the blood system. So I'll talk about the window metaphor right now. So once you have sex with someone and you have the HIV in your body, the window is still closed. The test cannot recognize the virus. As the weeks go by, remember how we talked about the immune system and how it gets attacked? Well, that continues, and then finally the window opens to where you can see that the virus is active in the body, and if you were tested again, you would be tested positive. So there's a window of time where it's not detectable, but you can still pass it on to other people if you happen to have relations with other people. Maybe you don't feel sick, but you can still pass it on. Now, you might not have any symptoms. Maybe you're feeling fine. Maybe you feel healthy. You think there's nothing wrong with you, but it's just a warning. You can still pass it on to other people. Now, there is HIV that has symptoms once you start to see the virus really affecting your body. You can go on living with that for about 20 years. but you really have to pay special attention to taking care of yourself. You have to eat well. You have to keep up with your exercise regularly. You have to take vitamins, stay away from raw meat, and stay away from things that are bad for your lungs, like cat litter. If you do that, you should be able to live about 20 years. Now, AIDS. I want you to understand that AIDS and HIV are two different things. AIDS will have different symptoms. Maybe your white blood cell count drops very quickly, drastically. And you could also find purple splotches on your body. Maybe you are feeling very, very tired. These are symptoms that you will notice when you have AIDS. So remember when we recently talked about the immune system breaking down, what AIDS does is it makes it easier for other sicknesses to happen to you because you don't have a defense. Maybe a foreign substance enters your body. Usually you can fight it off because of all your white blood cells, but as your blood cell count goes down, sicknesses can really affect you because you have no defense. Your immune system is really failing you. I remember when I mentioned cells before, normally you have 800 white blood cell count. And that means that you're pretty healthy. You can fight different sicknesses pretty easily. Your body is able to do that. Now, once HIV enters your body, your white blood cells will go down. If you have less than 400 white blood cell count, you will definitely need to be taking medications like DC, D4. That will really help your body do the job that the white blood cells cannot. So if you have less than 400, you need to start taking that medication. In that range from 400 to 200 white blood cell count means that you have HIV. If you have less than 200 blood cell count, that's when it's AIDS. Now, it doesn't have to be below 200 for you to have AIDS. Maybe you have a brain infection, maybe you have the purple splotches on your body. There are other symptoms, but your blood cell count might still be above 200. Maybe you don't have any of the symptoms, but your blood cell count is under 200. It's not a black and white line. So right now I want to move on to the warning signs of if you recently slept with someone and you forgot to wear a condom. Okay, it's happened. So we need to look out for some warning signs that will show that you are infected with HIV. Think about warning signs like on the road. Maybe you are losing a ton of weight. You haven't changed your eating habits, you haven't exercised, you haven't even been trying to lose weight, but your weight keeps on declining. That is a big warning sign. Another one is night sweats. If you sweat, well, maybe before you did it every now and then, but now it's happening every night and it's just huge amounts. That's another warning sign. Another one is that if you become easily tired, maybe you're not even doing anything that strenuous, maybe you're just walking and you have to constantly take breaks and sit down. That's a telltale sign that you might be infected with HIV.